Ford Super Duty. Today we've got a couple of 05 to 07 generations and the older style, I think it's 02 to 04. That one just came to life because it's intermittent, and that is why we're here today. The battery saver circuit, which now it just died again, which the power windows, the radio, and door locks run through the cluster. The cluster is in control of that, and also the power of the cluster itself is intermittent besides the battery saver circuit. So let's get into it. All right, before I tear these clusters apart, got to check on my shipping department. These guys still think they're on break, but they gotta get back to work. Hey guys, it's time to get up. Yeah, wake up. Get back to work. All right. So typically what I find wrong with the 05 to 07 Super Duties, as far as a battery saver circuit goes, is this little RN201, little resistor network resistor package, little 6-pin guy right here. And now this is going to require a level of microscope soldering. Same with the older Super Duty 2, the 02 to 04 that has the battery saver circuit issues. Unfortunately, this isn't a repair that you can just get into with your grandpa's 200-watt soldering iron. It's pretty small stuff, so I'm going to pull up the microscope and you'll see what it takes to get this thing working. Now here we are on the back side of the board. While I usually don't find fractured solder joints on the relays for this style, it's still just kind of a good idea to go ahead and touch these up. Same with the connector. I don't usually find them failed on this one, but it's just kind of a good idea to go ahead and go through it since we're already here. And back to the top side, just a couple more areas I want to touch up. Now with everything cleaned up and reflowed, give it a test. Hopefully it'll boot right up with a nice bright VFD and no more intermittent power. Get the power, all right. Okay, looks good so far. Do have some burned out bulbs, so now is the perfect time to replace the bulbs. This set here is just indicator, warning indicators. This is I think this is cruise control here, but these should all be lit up all the time with the backlighting on. So we got some bad bulbs to take care of. I'll be replacing all of the backlighting bulbs, even the ones that are still working, but you know they don't have very much life left in them. And these two for the gear select. Get rid of those. Okay. I believe these most commonly go by the name T5, might be also called like a 37. Local parts stores usually have these on the shelf. And you don't have to access these bulbs from the top side. They're on a twist socket from the back, so you don't have to disassemble the cluster to change your light bulbs. They are user serviceable. Sometimes the leads don't quite sit right. You gotta try again. Okay, again, these won't be lit right now because these are just indicators and cruise control. All right, backlighting's looking good. Now it's just time to put the board back in the casing and reassemble and reseat needles. Now to reseat the needles in the correct position, if you don't have a way to power it up on the bench, what you need to do is mark the home position of the needles, find where it stops at. You can either put a piece of tape under there and mark it with a Sharpie, or you can just take a really good photo of showing the exact start position before you take it apart. Also with Ford, it's nice that they have the built-in test function. So after you seat the needles, you can run a gauge sweep. See if I can get some of the glare off of there. And once it's done finding home, it will do a full sweep. And then back to home. And there we go. And then we can do a dummy light or a VFD test, dummy light test. And yeah, I think that's it for this year. Now it's on to the older style. Now for the 02 to 04 SuperDuty, a little different design. Pull the torque screws out, which I've already done. And then with this one, the board just peels off the back. Got to disconnect the odometer cable there. And then it's just the air core motor pins that hold the board on. All right. Oh, and watch out for the little plunger here for the button that likes to fall out. Alright, so unfortunately, I forgot to hit record on my microscope. So I'm just going to have to give you the gist of what you missed. If this video gains enough traction, I can make another one someday. But anyways, the main bulk of the issues is the microprocessor solder joints. For some reason, Ford has trouble with those. But it's just your typical reflow job, lots of flux. You can either use hot air or hand solder. And also a couple other areas to check for R30, R31, R117, R46, just lots of these small surface mount resistors. I find those a lot of those fractured. And also while you're in here, it's always a good idea to reflow the display pins and then check, inspect, or just reflow all the connection pins and then the relay. Reflow all those. Usually the back side's pretty good for surface mount soldering, but the top sides of Ford boards have smaller pads. For whatever reason, the pads are larger on the back of Ford clusters than the top side. But oh, and reflow anything related to the display hot wire circuit. Usually these large resistors, I'll just go through and touch those up, make sure those are good. And of course, it's a good time to change the bulbs. Thankfully, with this older style, you don't have to mess with pulling the needles off, so that's nice. All right, well, I think I covered everything about these. If I missed anything, leave a comment down below. If you don't feel comfortable attempting this repair yourself, I'll leave my email somewhere. And I think that is it for today. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.